Hi, I'm Bob Kraus, and I'm running for the United States Senate. And I'd like to talk a little bit about Joe Biden's speech today on January 6th. He called it a dagger at the throat of democracy. That's what J6 was. That's what the Trump coup was all about. And we have to get tougher about it. We as Democrats are not doing what we need to do to turn this thing around and stop the coup number two from happening. Now, I've got a 6-point program that I think we need to pass in order to stop this in the long run. Now, in the short run, we've got to do something about getting some of these things passed. And I'll just read off what those things are that I think are essential for us to stop this rolling coup by the Republican Party. The first thing is that we need to complete the investigation. If we don't get it done before the election and we lose the election, the game is over. If we win the Senate back, we need to start a Senate version also, so that the senators will fully understand what the House members on the Democratic side are learning already. We also need to expand the Supreme Court. It's obvious that that's the ace in the hole for the Republican Party right now. It has lost its sense of jurisprudence. It has become, sadly, a hack partisan machine. It's a shame that it's happened that way, but our opponent, my opponent, Charles Grassley, is one of the key figures in creating the sham partisan machine that we have. And he did it over a period of about 40 years. The other thing that we have to look at is passing the Voting Rights Acts. The John Lewis Voting Rights Act, which is especially important in a lot of the historic Confederate states. And we also need to pass H.R. 1, which is the For the People Act, which covers voter suppression in all 50 states. It also covers gerrymandering. We've had instances here in Iowa already with the stuff that the Iowa legislature passed that is causing people not to be able to vote. We know it. We have documents. We have numbers. The other thing that we need to do is we need to end the filibuster. The filibuster is killing us right now. And even if we had Manchin back and Sinema back, it still wouldn't be enough without Kamala Harris. We need to A, get that fixed, and B, get a working majority so if one or two people flake off, it doesn't ruin our legislative agenda. We also need to pass term limits for senators and congressmen. Our own sitting senator, Senator Grassley, proves what happens when you don't change your senators out. You get somebody that can lay in the weeds for a long time and orchestrate things to change things in the wrong way. The Supreme Court being one of the number one examples, although there are many. We also need to look at big money in politics. We need to re-regulate it. We need to stop the fantasy that wasn't even in existence until 1870, well before the founding fathers, that corporations are people. That has to stop. We have your dollar in your pocketbook, and you may make 15,000, you make 50,000, you may make 150,000, but if you make billions and millions, you can't compete. You cannot compete, and that's what's happening. The average voter cannot compete for influence with the multi-billionaires. That's the big problem, and they don't even tell us where they're spending it or who's behind it. That's absolutely wrong. Now, those are some of the things that I think are important, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I'll be doing this again, and I'll have it better set up so we can take those questions, but if you can, do comments, and I'll see them on the screen. Thank you so much. We'll be looking for you. If not, I'll run out my time here, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a former state legislator. I was chairman of the Transportation Committee. I got a high-ranking job in the Carter administration. I was a regional head of the Department of Transportation, which is the equivalent of a 3-star admiral general position. I also was a researcher at the Council of State Governments, the National Association of the States, And those are a few things that I've done. I had 28 years plus in the military, retired with a brevet to colonel. I know a lot about the military. I'm for the last 11 years now, I have worked to find justice for people that were wrongly treated by the service and the VA, that have post-traumatic stress disorder, that had military sexual trauma and were pushed out, that had traumatic brain injury and were pushed out. We need to do more on that. That's been in my heart for the last decade. I will continue to work for veterans. Thank you very much. This is Bob Kraus wishing you a great day, and we will talk to you again on this live channel. Thank you.